fun interview. Thank you so much, Frankie. And of course, always nice hearing from Dylan. Welcome to the LEC post-game lobby. I'm Laure, joined by Ender and Caps. Caps, congrats on winning Match of the Week.
Thank you.
Quick follow-up on what Dylan was just telling now. Remember the context of the interview we had last week and you were advocating for playing Troll Picks. Dylan was just saying that this week you refused to play Troll Picks. How is that so?
I don't want to leak too much. My coach is already leaking my picks, so that's a bit of a shame. But sometimes the most troll thing you can do is to just not troll at all, right? So we'll see what next week brings. Maybe it will troll pick, maybe it will not. Just keep them guessing, you know.
That's crazy. No one will ever know if you're trolling or not, you know?
Yeah, that's what it is. And you never know what to expect when it's come from G2. Nice bouncing back from the game you had yesterday. Today on Match of the Week, G2 Vitality. I think it was one of the most anticipated matchup in the LEC here in spring. What was your understanding of Vitality coming into today?
Vitality looks really strong, right? I think their other games were stomps. I think most of them, except maybe one of them. So obviously the early game is really strong, and they just have very good, strong laners, and Bo is also very proactive. This game we saw him drop a lot of camps to just try and gank bot, run straight top afterwards. So they really tried to create leads early on. Luckily they didn't manage to this game, at least not enough.
Do you find there's anything different? Because obviously Vitality looked really good this split. Do you find anything unique or different playing against Vitality compared to other teams in the league now?
We didn't really get to scrim them too much, and also the first game on stage, right? So it's hard to say, but I think just the aggression, right? They play very aggressive. They have players who all want to pick carry champ and do really well and get leads and stuff like that. They don't. Yeah, so I think just basically that, I think is the biggest takeaway from that team. But at the same time, I feel when they don't get the leads, they can struggle, right? Especially because they're maybe used to getting them.
Yeah, it's hard when you don't know how to play from behind, even though you can expect them to be able to do so considering the caliber of the players here. Quick hit on the Space Dragon Aurelion Sol. I know that you can't say too much about this, of course, but how do you prevent the champion from being activated? Because we know that the scaling of Aurelion Sol right now is unmatched in the game.
For sure, right? He scales infinite, but I think, for sure, he's just not the strongest early game. Obviously, Drake fights and just taking skirmishes and stuff like that. I think also the fact that, I guess the Vi was quite clutch this game. She managed to just kill him every fight, so that was nice for us as well. I think our early game was decent. We kind of threw a bit, so they actually had a better chance. But if we had maybe if I hadn't died to the Camille a few times, probably we could have had a bit more clean win.
In the spirit of troll picks, what's stronger, Space Dragon or Half Dragon Shyvana?
I am an Aurelion Sol. I was the Aurelion Sol right from you.
You were.
So I would go on the Aurelion Sol hype. Although playing some Shyvana would be fun as well.
Yeah.
Any opinion on the rework of the champion, because it was abandoned for so long, hence the reason the kit was changed. But yeah, what do you think of the champion?
I think it's good change. I think I like it overall. I'm sad that I like the mechanic of the old W. I like a lot, right? So I think that one being gone is sad. But I think the new kit looks pretty cool. I think it feels satisfying to play. I had a lot of fun playing it actually when I was playing it myself. So I think it's a good change. Now it's just if it can actually get to the sweet spot of being balanced in pro play and also not OP in solo queue or too weak in solo queue, right? I think so far it's looking all right in the sense that it's played a bit, but not every game. So I'm happy with that. Hopefully it can stay that way.
I'm just glad that Aurelion Sol now feels like a space dragon. Before it was oh yeah, I'm this giant space dragon. Let me send my stars out further and bring them back. It's crazy.
The ultimate especially.
Yeah, now you just got comets coming in. You've got gravity. It's crazy.
It's everything you expect the champion to be. Quick hit on the game again. You versus Perkz. I know that it's a matchup that we all love to see in Europe. Is it something that means a lot to you as well?
For sure. I think for me playing against Perkz, I think also Vitality, because they're doing so well the split, that makes it of course a lot more hype. But a lot of our prep went into Vitality, right? Which maybe also is why we weren't at our best yesterday. But luckily we bring out the win today, and I think every time we're gonna play Vitality, we're gonna make sure we bring at least a good version of ourselves.
I'm just glad because Vitality is a team that kind of similar to you. We were looking at they're always on the opposite side of their lane, super high forward percentage, looking to dive, take fights all over. So I feel we've only seen it once, but we're going to see this again in postseason. I'm positive of this matchup. And I just know that we're going to expect like super bloody games. Because like even either of you two teams, like if you lose on one side of the map, you know instantly you're going to be looking to punish on the opposite side, which I think is just like the recipe for fun League of Legends.
I want to see your best of five
Like old
series.
Fnatic games were always like that.
Yeah.
Like, a million fights everywhere.
Well,
It's fun to play.
not so much. Now, for Fnatic, let's take a look at the standings actually. In this okay, let's get this one out
They
of the
won.
way. Okay, focusing on the positive vitality, actually, are tied with BDS 4-1 right now in the LEC. BDS, even though I knew the team was strong, and we've talked about how much of success they would be able to reciprocate in summer, they look even stronger. I'm just wondering how long this is gonna go for them. I mean, can they stay on the top of the standings? Because for me, it's the big surprise we have right now.
Yeah, I mean, I have to put some doubt on the
Yeah.
top of the standings, but I think in a similar way to how we saw like SK last split, like breach top 4 and like compete with some of the better teams in the league, I think BDS is definitely on track to continue to be able to do that. I think they've proven they had the talent. This split as well, showing a lot more flexibility to like which side of the map they can play as well, I think is a good recipe for long-term success for them.
Caps, any outstanding results when you look at the LEC standings right now? Any big surprises for you?
G2 2 losses. No, but seriously,
Really?
I think everything is like not too out there. Like I didn't expect BDS to be 4-1, but it's like I'm not like super surprised either, right? It's just gonna be B1s and the early B1s especially.
Yeah.
I think something with BDS as well is like that we even talked about like last bit is like Adam has this like his champion pool, and especially best of one, and especially like when there's 3 opponents and you have to prepare for all of them, he just kind of gets his picks and he gets to do stuff, right? But usually in the best of 3s, best of 5s, like he gets figured out a bit more, I feel like.
I do think now with the way the standings have played out, especially with Fnatic beating Team Heretics today, going into next week, like nobody is really safe. You have 3 teams that are just 1 win ahead of 9th, 10th place. So I think so much rides on like how these teams end up performing next week. Because you have 1 bad week, you could have been a team like Astralis, I think felt pretty comfortable. You could bomb out in theory next week. So things get really crazy heading into the end.
I was about to say teams are rather close right now. So Caps, did the league got better, or is everyone worse than in winter? How do you see things?
I mean, I think it got better.
Yeah.
I think Vitality looks a lot stronger, right? I think that's like the obvious like improvement. I think for the rest of the league, Astralis also looks like a bit stronger, and then Excel Fnatic maybe looking like similar-ish. But I feel like no one really got weaker. I guess Team Heretics are doing like worse. But I don't know if that's because they got weaker or if they're just on a different patch.
Yeah, I do think this is also the nature of like how BO1s will look, because we've only played, each team has played 5 games total. So like we're just, by nature, it has to be like really tight standings, I think. So there's a lot of room to move around and surprise, even if you got off to a slow start. I mean, SK last split had a miserable opening week and then finished in 4th place. Like the minimum is make top 8 and then you can seriously make it done later.
On the topic of getting better, actually, there's something I wanted to talk to you about, Caps, because Romain has been giving me some info about the way you train and the way the coaching staff has been able to help you, and also the fact that Ismael joined the coaching staff and that he helps you get a new routine. And outside of the game routine, focusing on sports, that there's a tweet that he posted when we see you go running with him, you do sports with him, and Romain was telling me that it actually positively impacted you, the fact that you could implement some healthier stuff to your routine as a pro player. And because you've been playing for so long, I just wanted to have your view on what it's been bringing you and how much of a player and a person you've evolved ever since he joined and what he was able to bring you.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm really happy that he joined us. I think there's been a lot of changes this year, right? I mean, not just, I think the biggest change of sure, like the format of our scrims that changed, but also with Isma joining and us doing like we do like a bit of running in the morning, and also a lot more when it comes to like breathing or just anything, like basically focusing on outside of the game and health stuff. And I think, for me, it helped me a lot. I mean, at least in the sense that I feel like better day to day, right? I enjoy the days more, and I'm also sleeping better, which is always a good boost.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy with with everyone honestly on the team, and I'm looking forward to see how it will go.
I think we had Broken Blade on PGL last split, and he talked a lot about how like you guys had started like running and stuff, like earlier in the day. But I'm curious, like, do you do anything in like the 30 minutes to an hour, like leading up to game time, to sort of get in the right headspace?
Yeah, I mean, so we have like a few different routines. I mean, for me, like the main things I do is like we do like slow breathing basically, deep breathing, and then I do like. I just put my head in like water and try to hold my breath.
Really?
Before stage as well.
Is it like lukewarm water? Is it cold water?
I think it's just like room temperature.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
It's not like super warm, not super cold. It's just like trying to hold my breath, I guess, slowing down my breathing.
Wow.
But I think it's interesting because even though you have the support staff that's going to give you ideas on how to improve your routine, it's up to the player to actually follow this advice and implement this in the routine itself. What pushed you to actually listen to what he was telling you and realizing that maybe, hey, this is going to help you because you've been playing for so long, it's been a working system for you for so long. So why did you think it would make a difference here?
I mean, I think we all just kind of agreed as a team, all players, staff as well, right? And then it's about like finding out what the individual player like enjoys doing more or less, right? And maybe what he needs as well. And I mean, I've tried a lot of different things throughout my year. I've worked with like different sports psychologists, and like some things have helped in the past. Some things have like felt like not very useful. But I think a lot of the things we've done with Isma this year has been feeling good. And we're still adding things to make it even better.
I think it's about finding what suits you. And it goes to what Hansama has been saying about him and praising him over the years, of course. Quick check on the socks, because we talked about this last week. Fans gave you socks. We're in the sock meta as well, of course. What's the mood today?
So today is the sheep socks.
All right. Fantastic.
And actually, sad fact, for the first game of the year so far, yesterday, I forgot to bring the socks. I just went for my standard socks and we lost.
No.
So yeah, 0% win rate so far with just like normal old like black socks, and decent win rate with the fan socks.
See, we all thought it was the Draven that was the reason you guys lost yesterday, but it's the socks. Wow.
The lucky charm for G2. Hopefully it pays for you tomorrow. Let's take a look at the schedule on that note to see what we have in store for the last day of week 2 tomorrow, opening with Excel SK. You guys will be playing against BDS. Yeah, that's going to be a good game.
I like that one. I mean, I'm excited. I'm like, I don't really know how to sell the matches other than BDS tied in first right now, and you guys, I mean, you're pretty good.
Yeah, I guess if we beat them, then we're tied with them as
You'll
well.
also be tied.
Like,
yeah, there you go.
It's very volatile, like the standings right now. But yeah, I think as long as we don't fall out 9th, 10th, I'm pretty confident.
And what other game do you have your eyes on tomorrow? Again, the standings are really close. Of course, I want to see more from Fnatic, especially after them picking up the first win today. Difficult task against Koi, I believe.
Yeah, the Koi matchup is going to be really tough for them. So, I mean, I think you'd almost have to bet on Koi, but Fnatic, you never know. At the same time, I'm like, I feel like all the matches I feel like reasonably confident in like one team, except like BDS G2 is probably like the closest I see in terms of like how BDS have been recently performing. But I could see a world where Astralis do some pretty good things against Vitality.
Ooh.
That's my bold upset.
Yeah, so what do you think?
I think all the games look pretty hype. If actually for me, it's like I think it's more hype when the teams with less wins play, especially because of like the nature of the format. Because it's just like if you have 1-2 wins and you start losing, suddenly everyone is like really sweating. And I think those games are always the most fun to watch when like everything is on the line. You can see everyone is like choking a little bit and just playing with like a huge burden on.
Yeah. Also, like if you're one of those teams with like only 1 or 2 wins, you almost need to snipe a win off of like a really good team at this point in the season. In order, last split, for example, it was like 3 wins. That was sort of the breaking point to being top 8 or bottom 2. So with only 4 games left to play, if you only have 1 win, like you better hope you're Heretics making an upset against Mad or Fnatic over Koi.
Yeah, it's a tricky thing this regular season, honestly, with having like a single opportunity to face each of these teams. I want to throw in a quick prediction on every game. I will start first. First game, I think it's going to be for SK. Mad Lions take the second one. Vitality take the third. G2 take the fourth one. I can't bet against you. You're on the set here. And yeah, Koi against Fnatic, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in similar camp. SK, Mad, I'll say Astralis, then G2. Fnatic.
Yeah, I guess I will also just go with the SK Mat, Vitality, G2. But then I will also, I don't know if it's like, it's maybe a bit more hope than anything, but I'm hoping for Fnatic as well. I think it's like, yeah, it's always fun to play against them. And I really hope they make top 8.
It's a BO1. Anything can happen,
Anything can happen. Anything
That's
can
the
happen.
beauty of it.
And we'll see about this tomorrow. That's all for us here tonight. Caps, thank you so much for joining us. Pleasure as always. Looking forward to seeing the socks you have on tomorrow. And Ender, always a pleasure having you on PGL as well. PGL selfie without the Polaroid. I'm glad we benched this one. So Frankie did something really fun on Twitter earlier. And I actually want to steal the ID she had. So let's go on the floor here. It's gonna look really weird. I'm sorry. And wait, how was she doing it? Okay, like this. Awesome. Thank you guys. And thank you all for following the LEC today. We'll be back tomorrow for the final day of week 2. See you then. Have a good night.
One, two, three. Ultra fighting.
Young, you carry today.
Why?
You need to carry.
I'm so bad. Good player. I'm so bad.
The rest of Astralis stepping forward. Leader's got that passive charge, flash forward, knock up the snake. Sonic Wave and Resonating Strike, first place secured for Leaders, and ultimately it's a kill for Astralis. Copy's gone all the way forward. He's flashed for this. Crown's used the cleanse, used the flash pull over 100. One more shot's needed, and Copy picks up the solo kill and Seri.
Okay, can we tempo a bit? Don't take it. Don't take it. Tempo a bit. No, for Nash, tempo it a bit. We don't need. We don't need. Tempo it like tempo it way more. Tempo it way more. They cannot do shit. Tempo it. Tempo it.
Safeguard forward, flash, Tempest, cripple, Sonic Wave, Resonating Strike available. Lee Syndrome goes forward, but it was on to Xerxes. Niski's not backwards, and it's Excel with an excellent first blood.
He's mid.
The Lulu's bot. He's alone. He is alone. Holy nice. We can hit on mid. Now.
Yeah, good. And play right.
Well played, Patrick.
Oh, TP coming in. They want to turn this.
Oh, here comes the charge. Sion going all the way forward. Crowny is flashless. The center of the plate connects as well. And he's dropped. And once again, the third time, they've got burning. And the Brock goes down too. The shot backwards. Evie's got no flash. And he's taken down 4 kills to Fnatic. Austin Amphion wants to turn around. Slap him with the anchor at the end. And Razok picks up another. Looking for that decimating smashes. Kazi will hop over the wall. The shot blast. Snipes Hilly!
They need to be careful here. Hook hits Shigenda. Lantern target's still going to go forward. Certus fishing for it. The comp clean flash backwards, and now Certus is in no man's lane. He's got no protection left. He goes golden, finds free moment. Larson on the flank. Procking the vitals as well. Dosh relatively low, and he's getting shattered. Exekick now going for another kill. Exekick absolutely popping off. And Trippy, he can't do anything. An instant double. Lawson's here. No summoners on Exekick. Wait for the lantern. You can space this out. There's no right choice. Oh, the lantern, he's out. That's genius.